welcome everyone to kind of the first of whatever this is exactly. I'm not 100% sure. It's a little bit experimental, but my name is Sam. Kind of the main admin and creator of the Newbie Sessions, and run a lot of the Newbie Session events that get posted on in the server and on Meetup and stuff like that. And I wanted to do this live stream tonight. As I mentioned, it's a little experimental, just kind of an idea I had. And it kind of comes out of something that I did previously when I originally had started Newbie Sessions. Originally, it was just a meetup group, an in-person meetup group in Denver, Colorado. And I, at the time, had done these kind of fun like workshop live streams afterwards where I would analyze the games that I ran and stuff like that, and I had a lot of fun with it. It was really good, like learning experience and stuff. And I thought, well, I've been wanting to do that more, and I've had a bunch of other ideas for things that might be fun for a live stream. And the way I'm kind of thinking of it is almost like a D&D, like D&D variety hour type of thing, cover a bunch of different topics. Tonight will just be kind of a kickoff stream, so it's probably going to be a bit shorter. I'm mostly going to just talk about community-related things, but for the next time, what I'd like to do is cover things like maybe some D&D news, or I have like this Art and Arcana book. Maybe it'd be fun to touch on a little bit of D&D history and stuff like that. It'd be good for myself to just kind of like learn new things and then share them, and could be interesting for other people to hear. Could cover things like Dungeon Master insights, or maybe short interviews with people in the community. Look at some new virtual tabletops, all sorts of stuff like that. And the goal is to kind of keep it bite-sized, 30 to 60 minutes total, just kind of jump from topic to topic. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, let me know. Or if there's like certain topics you're like, oh, I would love if someone talked about that, did a little bit of a dive into some topic on Reddit that they saw or whatever. Like that's what it could be all about. And I want it to be community focused too, where like people can bring up ideas or things, share cool things they're working on, or anything like that. So like I said, tonight it'll just be kind of a kickoff stream, cover some community related stuff. I'll keep an eye on the Twitch chat too if you have like questions you want answered about anything. And then we'll call it here for tonight. And then the second stream, I think I will do it'll probably be the Sunday. I'll shoot for Sunday, December 19th at this time. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. So for anyone that is, for anyone that's new to D&D Newbie Sessions, I wanted to kind of cover a little bit of that stuff first. So you might be wondering, especially if you just joined the community, like how does this work? How do I get into a game? Really, a lot of people are really excited to play D&D, but then they kind of hit this wall where they're like, I can't get into an event. I can't get into a game fast enough and stuff like that. So first off, just high level, there are the Newbie Sessions that I run, and a few other people, like kind of the official events of the community, are run through Meetup. A lot of people within our community, that's kind of how they get into Discord, for instance. They come from Meetup, get into Discord, join games. There are 12 different meetup groups. They kind of go across the United States in different time zones, and I will post, myself and a few others will post games in various groups. And you are free to join any group in any game that works for your schedule. Although the thing I always make sure to point out is that if you join games in different time zones, be very careful that you can actually make that work. Because if you're on the East Coast and you join a Pacific game, that would be typically going to be a very late night for you. We also have games that get posted into Discord, which you may have seen before. Those can go into the Open Games channel. Those are oftentimes like experienced DMs. They're posting their official like listing for a game. And then some people will also post in the Looking for Group channels. Those are similar to Open Games, but more designed to have a little bit of kind of back and forth communication. So you could post a listing in there, or maybe just post like, hey, I'm a player looking for a group. or I'm a DM, I'm looking to start maybe form a group. I want to do it, virtually or in person, whatever it is, and you can have that kind of back and forth there. Now, one thing I will recommend is if you are going to reach out to a DM, now this is kind of separate from the newbie sessions on Meetup. This is more like I'm going to contact a DM directly and see if I can get into a game. One of like the biggest recommendations I can make is you put in a little effort. So if you reach out to a DM and say, "Hey, I'm interested in I want to join your game," and that you leave it at that, that might work. But a lot of times, if you put in a little bit of effort, like, "Hey, my name is Sam, and I'm a new player. I'm really interested in your game that you posted. I've been playing for a couple months. I know some of the basics, but I'm still pretty new. I really want to play a dwarf paladin." Like that can go a long way in a DM going, okay, this person is engaged. They've done a little bit of work up front. They've told me a little bit about themselves. I like the vibe. Great. I'm gonna maybe put them to the top of the list or something like that. So little things like that can go a long ways in helping you find a game within the community. Also, if you're a dungeon master, whether you're new or experienced, we need you. There are a lot of players, and basically anywhere you go, there are a lot of players, and only a few DMs. I'm not sure exactly what the number is, but it might be something like for every DM there are 10 players or 20 players or something. And a lot of times DMs they form a group, and they might run with that group for quite a while. So DMs are a kind of a scarce resource. So with that being said, if you are a DM, whether you're new or experienced, please reach out if you need help getting started, or if you're maybe you're a little nervous about running games online for strangers. That's totally understandable. If you need help, like ping me, send me a DM, and I'll assist you with getting started, because we can always use more people in the community running games. Even if you're like even doing something like running a game every 3 months, a one shot for new players does make a big difference. That's potentially 5 or 6, say, new people that are excited to play, that never had a chance to play, that finally can join a game. And then I can also, like, if you feel like you need some more training or anything like that, I do the DM training session. Happy to get some of those on the calendar and run you through it, and and help out that way. Let's see here. Also, there are the player onboarding sessions, player onboarding / player training sessions. There are not any on the calendar at this moment, but the first week of January is what I'm aiming for. I'll probably put like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday player onboarding session. So if you haven't done that yet, please consider it. You can do a kind of a deep dive. I will do a deep dive into the community, the games, all that sort of stuff, and then I will it's about 30 minutes long, and then from there we move into the player training, which has various insights and things like that that can be helpful if you're a brand new player. Let's see, from the chat, I'm a new DM. I have a group of 6 I play with who are friends, but I'm not confident enough to host a session yet for strangers. Yeah, so that's a perfect example. If I totally understand that. When I first started, I just ran for friends because that was what I was really comfortable doing, and I think I would have been really nervous running for strangers online. So I totally understand that. So if you, as an example, if you want some support getting started and walking through that process, and like I said, doing the DM training and stuff, I'm totally happy to help you. Just ping me on Discord like right now if you want, and I can start to help you with that, with making some steps forward. Yeah, confidence definitely comes with time. Being comfortable was a huge part of growing as a DM. Totally agree. Yeah. So yeah, player onboarding training sessions coming first week of January. I'll be working on some new stories in 2022. My goal is last season, I did 12 total stories. I want to do the same thing for this season. So there'll be some new stories coming in 2022. I'm also working right now on a hex crawl. Just did the first session. Hex crawl in a city called Hyven, different part of the region. And if you're interested, those will be popping up, so keep an eye out. The hex crawls are really fun. They currently consist, there's an interesting sort of centaur related conflict going on, big natural disaster, this mysterious talking well that's kind of strange rumors going about. There's an evil lumberjack, all sorts of crazy stuff going on in Hyven. So if you get a chance to join that, please do. As you play in that particular part of the world, your actions will impact and change the world. And if you're unfamiliar with that process, all of that sort of stuff happens in the game and then gets posted on Notion. Notion is where the world is documented. You can even submit your characters there and stuff like that, so people can read about your backstory and things. So all sorts of cool stuff like that going on. And last thing I wanted to mention here before moving on was video game nights. If you haven't done a video game night, please consider it. We did Among Us on Friday. It was super fun. We had a group of about 8 of us that were playing. I think we're gonna probably do it maybe again this next Friday. So if you want to join, all of the video game nights are newbie friendly, just like everything else. Newbie friendly. The video game event itself is free, of course, but sometimes the games do cost money. Among Us costs, I think, $5 on Steam for like the PC version, or you can play free on your phone. And I know that it can sometimes be like daunting to join a video game. You don't know if you're joining a group and everyone's going to be like really good at the game and you're going to be the one that's not great or something. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's totally newbie friendly. We'll walk you through like how the game works and everything. Not to mention, I am terrible at Among Us. I am like always the first person to die, and then I'm like always the first person voted off even when I'm innocent. So you'll be in great company if you're not good at the game. Don't worry about it. Yes, we also have done some Jackbox before. We all got addicted to Valheim for a while. So if you have any recommendations for like larger scale multiplayer games, preferably free or on the cheaper side so they're more accessible to people, let me know, and we can maybe host some other ones. I think for a while we were talking about doing some like Sea of Thieves, although I'm not sure if that might only be 4-player. But yeah, just throwing that out there if you want to join us. We'll be doing that in the video games channel. Let's see. Saw a few things from the chat here. Yeah, so reach out on Discord. Happy to get you guys started. Yeah, if you're having trouble, like, meshing with a group or something, sometimes you just gotta try, different groups until it works. People are different. It's a very social game. So sometimes you can have a group that is a great fit. Other times it's not a great fit. And you just gotta kind of, move on from there and try again. Is there a backstory or common lore that as a new player I should read and understand before I join a first campaign? That depends a lot on the game that you're going to be joining. So for the newbie sessions, not really. The newbie sessions are they really exist within kind of my own world, and it's just no one knows anything about it besides myself. It's just all kind of made up stuff. So there's nothing to really read. It's kind of a silly world in a lot of ways, but it's it's there for everybody. You don't have to like come prepared or anything. If you're joining a different DM, different adventure, I would just ask your DM. Ask them like, what do I need to know before I go in? A lot of times that's going to be covered in a session 0 too. So that would be a great question. Is let's say you're joining a new game. Ask your DM, are we doing a session 0 so we can talk about the world, the characters, all sorts of things like that, the schedule. Otherwise, you can just start to, if you have the player's handbook, you can start to look through there. You can start to look through, I think it's the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, things like that. There's plenty of books out there that you can start to read through and learn about the some of the official lore. The Discord to reach me. So it's if you go into the D&D Newbie Sessions server, you can. I'm just listed in there as Sam. So if you, I should be right at the top right in the members box or whatever, and you should. I think from there you can just click on me and say message. I'll post a link to the Discord server in the Twitch channel just in case you're not in there. And then, yeah, hopefully that works. Cool. So yeah, okay, some additional community updates here. You may have heard that Astral Tabletop has suspended development. Very, very sad. I'm a huge fan of Astral Tabletop. It's worked really well for me. I've had a lot of fun using it. I've put in hundreds of hours creating maps and running games in there. Now, as of now, Astral Tabletop is not going anywhere, and I will be continuing to use it just because I've invested a lot of time creating all the games and stuff. However, it's possible that in the nearish future, I don't know, its future is uncertain. Let's just leave it at that. And so I am working on a potential backup solution just in case it someday goes down. Hopefully we'll have a good amount of warning before that so I can kind of start transferring everything over. Right now I am currently looking at Foundry, Tableplop, maybe even something like Owlbear Rodeo. I'm probably not going to do Roll20. I've tried Roll20 in the past and for whatever reason, it just did not click with me. I'm not a huge fan. I did like Foundry. It did seem like a good option. So that's kind of in the works. And one thing I did see in the server, and maybe I'll talk about this in the next time. Yeah, Fantasy Grounds I've heard good things about as well. I actually did not have that on my list, but I'm going to write that down right now. They did mention in the Astral Tabletop Discord server that they are trying to work things out. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if... maybe the dream would be that someone comes and purchases Astral Tabletop and they keep it alive, rehire developers or something. I don't know if maybe they could open source it and people could contribute. I have no idea, but they did mention that they're trying to do something to keep it going. And I have noticed since they did that announcement, they have released a few additional things. I'm assuming those were things that were nearly done. Maybe the developers are just kind of volunteering their time to finish up a few loose ends or something. Hopefully it sticks around because it's really, really cool. But it may be possible in the near future that Newbie Sessions will be on some different platform. So just be aware of that. I also wanted to give a shout out to Altrole. Altrole just ran a bunch of classes in our server this week. They did a character creation basics, Dungeon Master training, Spellcasting 101, Roleplay 101. I was able to sit into most of them, and they were really cool. They were very in-depth. The Spellcasting 101, I think, lasted 3 hours or something. They did the class and then a whole bunch of just workshop, working with people directly and stuff. I think that was with Michaela. She did it. It was amazing how long she actually stuck around helping people. So it was really cool to see. If you're looking for their server link, because a lot of the classes they ran have some follow-ups, they'll have Spellcasting 101 Part 1. Or, actually, I'm not sure. I shouldn't say that. But some of the classes have follow-ups, they had a Part 1, Part 2, Part 3 type of thing. I'm not sure exactly which ones did, but the link to their server is now in the partners channel in our Discord server, so you can check that out. And it's also in the Discord network channel. So it's in two places. Hopefully you can track it down. Feel free to join. I think it sounds like they're running events, training events, and learning events and stuff like that on a weekly basis. So lots of opportunity to learn there. So big shout out to them. They did awesome. Super happy to have them in the server. Yeah, go show them some love. I also want to do a big shout out for all the people who have donated. So those are people on Patreon and people that have done the Buy Me a Coffee thing. on Buy Me Coffee. They have in 2021 here helped to cover something like somewhere around like 60 to 70% of all the year-to-date expenses, which is a really big deal. It might sound like basically all of this stuff comes completely out of my pocket, and so having people jump in and help support is amazing and super helpful. This is covering things like Meetup and website hosting, Discord Nitro, Incarnate Pro, Astral Pro, testing new software like SoundPad, like a ton of stuff, and it all adds up. And so having some people, so having some people cover that is amazing. Big thank you so much for doing that. It really does go a long way in keeping this stuff running and growing and stuff like that. So. And someone in our community is they go by FogSeekerTV. They are going to be doing. You may have seen them a little while ago. They were doing a live stream. They primarily play Dead by Daylight, the video game, but they've just reached out recently and said they wanted to do a D&D live stream this month in December, and they're trying to raise money for like underprivileged children who basically trying to raise money to purchase like gifts and stuff for them. So I believe his goal is $100. It hasn't been posted yet, but I just wanted to let you guys know that if you see that pop up, please consider checking it out. It's for a good cause. Seems like a great guy. We've been chatting on Discord and stuff. So that's FogSeekerTV. Like I said, there will be more details in Discord at some point here. Once we work out exactly what date he's gonna be running the event. And this time it should be like he mentioned he wants to do a D&D live stream instead of Dead by Daylight. So it'll be topic relevant as well. Alrighty. Let me catch up on that chat here just in case I missed any questions. Yeah, Spellcasting 101 was great. Totally agree. The newbie sessions right now. So, I should give an update on that. I haven't been able to run as many newbie sessions recently, which is always a bummer. It's mostly just because, like, as you can imagine, I have a full-time job and then I do this on the side. And my job has been absolutely nuts lately. It's just been like, basically we have a bunch of end of year stuff that is being crammed in November and December, and everyone is just a lot of stuff going on. And so I have been just kind of caught up in a lot of that. So I haven't been able to post as many games as I'd like and other events. Right now I only have one other game scheduled, which is this coming Tuesday, I believe. But then the week after, I've got a slotted few days where I want to get some more events in. So I will be posting those. They will go on Meetup, and then be posted on Discord as well. So keep an eye out for those. So there will be a few more opportunities there. And then coming in January, I should be back into like a normal routine again, and I'll try to just get back into the same cycle of running multiple events every single week. Yeah, and stay vigilant and openings will show up. It's so true. We would love to run games for everyone all the time if we could, but there's many players and only so many DMs, so we just have to sometimes you just got to be patient and you got to wait for an opening, and as long as you stick with it, it will happen eventually. And any events like this, special events and things like that, they'll be streamed here on Twitch and then sent to YouTube as well. And you can check out our YouTube channel for past events. We've done a variety of people in the community have done special events covering all sorts of topics, from virtual tabletops to character creation, role-playing, voice acting, all sorts of stuff. So if you want to ever check those workshops out, they're on our YouTube channel. I guess I will post that in the Twitch chat, just in case anyone's curious. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, so, all right, the next section I wanted to go into is, this has come up before, something kind of near and dear to my heart and a big part of the community. It's what I'm calling the inspiration point section, or segment, I guess. Our community, D&D Newbie Sessions, is not just about running D&D games and teaching people how to play D&D. That is, of course, a very big part of it, but it is equally it is in equal part about being really friendly, really nice and supportive of one another on our journey as we learn how to be great players and great dungeon masters. And something I've mentioned before, that I think, well, when you build a D&D character, you create this hero that goes out into the world on epic quests to help others, save people's lives, save the world sometimes, and do amazing things. And there is no reason that our heroes in these stories have to be confined to the game world alone. We can bring our ideals, our bonds, our, the essence of our character into the real world as well. So our community is in large part around helping others, lifting people up and helping them out, being a positive influence, being a good role model for those in our lives. So please consider that. Please, when you're interacting in our community, you're helping others, remember that that's a big part of this. We want to, we're not here to be like the biggest community or anything like that. We're here to be like a really great place, like the friendliest community, a place that people feel great coming back to. They're not going to be judged for not knowing things perfectly. They're gonna be welcomed and all that sort of good stuff. So so I just wanted to share that because that is a very, very big part of the community, and hopefully that resonates with you. And like I said, make sure to take that. It's not just about our community, but out into the world as well, because I feel like now more than ever we could all use some of that out in the real world as well. Yeah, don't forget to love each other. Exactly. All right. Well, okay, so like I said, today's live stream is just a kind of a kickoff show for this concept. That's all I had to cover for today. Next time, my plan is to sort of kind of expand on this now and cover even more topics. So right now, what I've got in terms of ideas is I wanted to do a D&D history section. And like I said, I wanted to look maybe maybe use this Art Arcana book as find some sort of cool history that I can share with you as like a little story or something like that. I'm also thinking of covering either mounted combat, mounted gameplay mechanics, or I was thinking of looking and maybe covering something from X-Treme Dungeon Mastery book and sharing some sort of cool Dungeon Master insight or something that could be interesting and useful. I'm also going to do a brief high-level overview of Owlbear Rodeo, the virtual tabletop. So if you're interested in learning more about that, I'll cover that next time. You can see okay, what does that all entail? Could that be good for my games? And hopefully I can help answer that. And then lastly, I would like to hear from you if you'd like. If you have anything interesting that you want to share, something from the community, maybe something that I can help promote, like this FogSeekerTV is their live stream, doing a cool charity event. If you're working on a cool art project, you're creating some awesome physical dungeon or something like that, send me some pictures or something, and I can share it on the stream here. Events, an amazing character backstory, anything like that. So I want this to be cool community stuff as well. And yeah, that's, like I said, that's all I've got. I'll keep the conclusion short because otherwise a lot of times I start to ramble. If you have any further questions or comments, I'll keep an eye on the Twitch chat for a little bit longer. Otherwise you can, like I said, DM me or just message me in general chat or something on the Discord server and I will follow up. And that is it. thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you next time. Like I said, I will try to get, I'll get the next show scheduled for Sunday, December 19th at 6 p.m. Central, so the same time slot, and we'll be covering some, like I said, some interesting topics. I think it'll be really fun. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.